Okay, so tell me about the product.
So it's a car my dad and a bunch of California drag race guys built in 1968.
It's the Challenger.
It's a Challenger 2. It was actually then the Autolite Special, and it was a Ford project. Ford, paid for it and funded it and did a lot of the design work on it. And then the California dragster guys, John Ventura, Pat Foster, Nye Frank, Tom Joe, Bob Skinner, Glenn Epperly. I mean, it was absolute who's who of who could make parts in the day. And they put that thing together in about 5 months, which is amazing because I've been working on it for 18 months and it doesn't even look like I've done anything right now. But we're taking that car ran right at 400 mile an hour testing. And
at Bonneville
in 68, and all the way into the last day they ran it in 68 was October 28th, so they were way late in the year. And that's the same year that my dad broke 300 national and international records at Bonneville on the big circle, the 10-mile circle, and with Ford Mustangs. And that was the introduction to the Mach 1 Mustang in 1968 for the 69 Mustang.
He drove on a 10-mile circle out there?
10-mile circle out there, yeah. Drove 24 hours, averaged, I think it was 168 mile an hour for 24 hours. My dad and Danny Ongadas, the two of them drove. So that was all part of a big Ford deal, and then the Streamliner was at the end of the deal. And the day they were going to go for the record, it rained. And in fact, my dad's Christmas card that year was him, the Streamliner sitting on the salt, him in a rowboat with his driving uniform on, rowing around the Streamliner, a rubber rowboat. So that's how much it rained. So the car went in the trailer and went home and got all cleaned up and, working on it for the next year. In 1969 is when the big three backed out of racing. So Chrysler, General Motors, and Ford all quit racing. So that thing went into a trailer, and basically it sat for 44 years. But then in 1988, my dad called me and said, I want to run this car, but I'm not going to drive it. Would you like to drive it? And you work on it, you drive it. I said, well, absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely. He said,
how old were you at the time?
I was, 88. I have to figure that out. I was 38. And so then so he was going to, fund it and get the sponsorship and all that stuff. And then 3 weeks after we made that deal, my dad got murdered. So then the car went back into storage, and it sat into storage basically for another 24 years. And then now, I got it out, and
so what made you get it out?
Well, I always wanted to do it with my dad, but I just didn't have the motivation to do it because I missed him too much. And it was a father-son project, and so I had to come to the realization that it's still a father-son project. Nothing's changed. He's just not going to be there in physical being. So it's a fantastic project. Now the car is going to be completely different. The body, the shape, and all that's going to be the same. It's going to be 32 inches longer. But the shape and everything will be the same. Engine combination's different. It had single overhead cam Fords in it originally, and now it's going to have 500-inch Hemis in it, fuel injected on nitromethane. So my dad had 1,800 horsepower, and we should have somewhere between 4,000 and 5,000. So if we can hook it up and get it going, that'll be the trick. New transmission combination. The rear ends are the same. So new transmission, new hookup boxes, new motor combination, all that's different. So new steering, and that's probably the biggest issue on the whole car is changing the steering. And the engineering, Tim Gibson's doing all the engineering on that. And we just about, I think, probably by the end of next week, we should have a full plan. And then I can start making parts for it.
For the steering?
For the steering, yeah. So, and the plan is to run it in August. And
coming up?
This coming August. And probably not go fast in August, but get a bunch of, preliminary laps in, make sure it steers.
It takes a while before they let you go 400.
Yeah. Kennedy will, monitor it, and which is good. I mean, that keeps people from getting hurt.
Yeah.
Because, you got people like me, they'll go gas at the first lap. And you need to go make laps and make sure everything's good. And then, so if it runs good by the end of the week, we might try to, wick it up a little bit. But if not, we'll go back for Cook's shootout. And then that's when Speed Demon, and that's when all the fast cars are there together. So
you're gonna make me go up for that too.
Yeah.
I haven't made that one yet, but I really want to. That sounds like
it's so mellow, and basically there's 6 cars, and some motorcycles are 4 cars or 3 cars, and I mean it's not like Speed Week at all. way kickback. When you're on the track, it's yours. You don't do anything. Nobody else goes on it. It's yours because you got to turn around and come the other way.
Right.
Within that 1 hour time frame. So,
right.
And that's what it makes it hard. Because you figure our car is going to use 50 gallons of fuel to go 6 miles. And so you got to go down there. You got to turn it around, which is that
not
itself
easy. Yeah.
not easy. And then the way we did it, or the way we do it, is we have 4 air jacks. Put the air jacks in, we slide a Lazy Susan underneath it, spin it around, line it back up, and get ready for the return run. So that saves time in the whole turnaround process. Then you got to add 50 gallons of fuel. You got to each engine has 32 spark plugs. You got to pull all the spark plugs out. You got to adjust the valves. Hopefully you don't have to pull the bottom end out and look at it. So it's a whole lot of work.
How many people are going to be doing it?
Well, I figure you need 15 for the shootout.
So sign me up to bring you paper towels and cold ones if that's what it takes. I'd be happy to help out.
Cool. Appreciate that. So should be good. I don't have a crew yet.
Hey,
cool.
I'm going to be in touch with you through Holly maybe, and she's got all the photos. And I've seen some of her stuff online already. A link to all that and put something together. This is historic. So
it is historic. It should be good. So
it was my pleasure to meet you.
Right,
Thanks very much.
Thank you.